Hello, and welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about a Netflix docu-series called Inside Bill's Brain, Decoding Bill Gates. And it's 3 episodes. They're about an hour long. And it's not just talking about the life of Bill Gates and how he got all his money. Each episode, it just is breaking down something specific about him, about his philanthropy with his wife. And it just gives you a really inside look at what's going on in his head. And he's such a super genius. We know that he created Microsoft, he co-founded all that stuff. But just watching him do other things in the world is pretty remarkable. And I watched the first episode and I was just like, I have to knock this out. In the first episode, it's more about how he's trying to tackle the sanitation problem around the world in countries like Nigeria. And it's just, you get insight of what's going on around the world in terms of countries and the manner of which, they go to the bathroom and their feces is going back into the water that they're drinking. And, he read articles, he read books, and it's saying that 1,000 people are dying from diarrhea over there. And he wanted to find a way to deal with sanitation over there. He wanted to find a way to get rid of the feces without water. And he emailed universities, and a lot of them didn't respond. But then he put like $7 million out, like, okay, I need you guys to come up with something to figure this problem out, so we can help people around the world. And eventually they just start picking up steam, and he started having events, and people came up with all this amazing technology to handle sanitation of burning the feces, and it gets processed into steam, and then eventually you can separate that, and at the same time getting rid of the feces, you can create water. It's amazing stuff watching, episode 1. It also tackles his relationship with his mom, and it was pretty rough for him growing up and, having to go to therapy and not always getting along with his mom. He always just wanted to read books and stuff like that, but it's really good. Episode 2, it tackles his desire to end polio and, in poor countries. And you see him have discussions with Warren Buffett, how they work hand in hand together, to try to tackle this disease. And, he developed a modern map for, like the country of Nigeria. There wasn't a modern map. So he helped create maps, detailed maps of Nigeria so they can tackle polio, because they would stop it in one place, but then it would pop up in another place. And it's because they didn't really have detailed maps of the country, and they were missing places to give out the vaccine. Instead of going into his mom and everything, it moves into more his junior high school and how he met his best friend, Paul Allen, his relationship with Paul Allen. Paul Allen was the co-founder of Microsoft, a little bit older than Bill, but they met in school. As a teenager, the principal asked him to fix the calendar for the students of their classes, because it was an all-boys school that merged with an all-girls school. And the principal asked him, it was so complex, the principal asked him to fix it. And then eventually he asked Paul Allen to help. And then as teenagers, they went over and helped a hydroelectric company. Like, they did a lot of things as kids, as teenagers, to help the world, to help people out. And then, of course, they started Microsoft together, and you see the strain on their relationship, how they were different people. Bill was more frantic. He wanted to always work on Microsoft, and Paul Allen had other hobbies. And it was just good seeing that insight into that. And then episode 3, he's tackling the energy crisis, the energy problem, saving the atmosphere, clean energy. He even wants to do something with nuclear energy, but make it even safer than it is. And it talks about how he met his wife and how they, their relationship grew, in terms of them working together. It's called Bill and Melinda's foundation, not just Bill's foundation, and how she got put in the forefront of people, because she was always in the background. She was very private, but, she plays a major part in their foundation. And and it also talks about how the government sued Microsoft and the things he had to go through, during that time. And it's it's 3 episodes, but it's real detailed and really well done. And you see Bill, he's everybody just says that he's really, really smart and he could process so much. And it's just good seeing him, playing tennis or him at home and just talking about the things he's really passionate about, him chopping it up with Warren Buffett over breakfast and stuff like that. It's a cool series, and it's something I just stumbled across on Netflix, and I think you should check it out. Again, only 3 episodes. Decoding Bill Gates. Thank you for listening. Deuces.